Okay, quick update on the Lloyds. I was able to separate the two halves and get to the underneath of that tuning capacitor, which I did. And I read a few forums and they talked about cleaning it, but as much of you might realize, they talk about the old radios, everything from putting them in the dishwasher to you name it. And then someone had a vintage transistor radio that they wanted to clean, and they recommended spraying it, but not with a lubricating spray, because we don't want to change the dielectric of the tuning capacitor. We just want to clean it. And I don't have it open on that side, but it's real micro miniature. And I do see, I think, what's traces of, like, not silver mica disease, but I think you can see the oxidation in there. So I did spray it with what I had on hand. I just used this. It's all I had here handy was the electronic cleaner, and it doesn't leave a residue. It has no lubricant in it. I didn't want anything with a lubricant, but then again it says it protects, so I don't know what it's talking about. Anyway, let me give you a demonstration. It is better. The only fallout is the FM has detuned a little to the right, and it plays in stereo, yet the stereo indicator does not come on, but you can hear that it is in stereo. So we're just going to let it settle down. I'll give you a quick test of the AM. It did cure the AM though. I can go down the dial. It doesn't make that terrible static any longer.
Health officials, ABC News Chief Health and Medical.
That's the computer there.
And for weather information, go to weather.
Okay, so let's switch it over to FM. Let me lower the volume. Now that is 96 right there. So I believe it was over there before, and this is blasting in stereo, and you can hear the difference between stereo and mono. Yet I have no stereo indicator. So we'll just let this thing settle down and see what happens. And like I say, the dial is just shifted to the right a little bit. And I don't have stereo no matter what I do. You can hear the difference, but I don't see the stereo trigger illuminating. But like I say, we'll let this dry, and we'll see if it comes back from its detune. Thanks for watching. Okay, again on this, I had to spray it again with some more cleaner because the static seemed to have come back. The tuning fell back into place, but along came some bits and pieces of static again. So I don't know what to do in that case, but again, I can go up and down AM with no trouble. But in FM it shifted, but they could put aside for one. FM shifted,
for our live broadcast of the Boston Symphony Orchestra from
but you can tell the stereo is there.
Here on 99.5 WCRB.
But I have no stereo indicator, so we'll let this sit and see if it comes back to its senses a little, because I think it's just detuned. Okay, here's an example of the stereo. You could hear it during the guitar solo. This is FM mono, FM stereo, but no indicator, and it's shifted again because I sprayed it, so it's shifted to the right. It'll come back to the left. And we'll just leave it, see if we get our stereo indicator back. Okay, a few hours have passed on the Lloyds since we sprayed it with the non-lubricating electronic cleaner, which I was told by radio guys to do. You don't want any lubricant in there, but I may have no choice. I may have to do the de-oxit because the problem only goes away temporarily. I'll show you what I mean. It's just our sticky volume. It's better, but it's not cured. And it's worse going down the dial. I said up before. It's going... So it relieves it only temporarily.
I'm listening to music on my phone.
The only thing I don't understand also is, although I do hear FM stereo, I don't have my light. And I've traced it back. The FM stereo light are these two, out of all these white leads here, they're all white. Out of the two leads, it's these two at the end of my finger there that are the stereo. So we're gonna, I may lift one of those and just power the bulb with a few volts to see if it lights. That's how I'm gonna check the light. I was hoping the stereo light would come back. The stations are back where they should be.
Magic 106.4 at least. Like, honestly.
The Guardian Angels.
What question?
So. Definite difference in stereo, but I have no illumination. I'm going to check that light. I may spray it with some compressed air, or what I'm thinking is spray it with compressed air, then hit it with the de-oxit. But you can see through the translucent capacitor that in fact there is some buildup in there. So we can either try to blow it out or see if the de-oxit cures it. But either way, I would look into dreading changing that capacitor, which as a learning experience may be, but we'll see as time goes on. Okay, all we done after the spraying of the tuning condenser there, so we lost the stereo light, and the bulb is out. I've metered it, and the lamp, which should only be about 6 volts, is reading 24 volts no matter whether it's stereo or mono, or so something happened here with the disassembly of the chassis or spraying. I have to check, maybe there's a short. I'm at a loss here. Okay, that stereo light being out really bothered me, but I know it was in stereo by the sound, so I'm going to show you what I've determined. The only thing I can find in the stash, I think right now, is an 1847, which I know draws way too much current, but I'm going to put it in and show you. Let me pause here. Okay, although there's 24 volts, it was just it's not being biased. That's so you can see that lamp is illuminated. Because I can hear the stereo. And there it is. If I switch to mono, it goes out. Actually, if I switch to mono, it stays on.
To get 0% APR for 70. Recommend Unico's small deck.
Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and put this LED. I have this jumbo LED here for the car I'm going to put in there. So I'll just take the LED. It's probably a little over biased, but oh, come on. I'm going to tack this in here. And who during the day is playing Bobby Rydell on FM? I've never heard of such a thing. It's Bobby Rydell, forget him. Let's get this LED in here, soldered in here. Oh, that's the local station. I know who that is. Oh, for heaven's sakes. Okay, I'm gonna have to come up with some final determination, but here's our blue LED on the stereo indicator.
Someone out at the target field on Monday.
Ways to save money.
Plus, one lucky winner will win it too. A hospital emergency room. You walk around
Texas. I obviously had a lot of people write in. White guys. Produced.
I don't know what's up with this connection on this LED here. I think it's bad.
With crime record lows, why are we looking at change?
That station is not stereo, I'm pretty sure.
Smarter on crime with programs like drug court.
Okay, so there you have that. Go back to AM. Same problem there, so there you have it. Okay, I've gone ahead and done what you're not supposed to do, is use some, we had the redox here with leaves a protective layer, which you're not supposed to use on tuning components. But we have no choice here, so it does leave a residue, and we are detuned like the other spray, but they eventually went away. So we'll turn this on. And I'm almost off the dial here. That station should be about here, so we are detuned. It's not falling back. It's been a few minutes. It's not coming back to this side like it's supposed to. We'll let it sit. Maybe it'll evaporate. If not, we'll hit it with the other cleaner and just try and wash the redox out of there. But the other news is that it does. The AM, see, the noise is gone.
Willing to give 10.
So, we have
Make it Mezcal Tequila Cantina.
our LED tuning light. A stereo light.
The 80s to now. 96.1. The retirement home.
At least it's the gig to generate.
Yours is not. So come on.
He is showing.
But yeah, that's 96. 96 is right here, so it's detuned. It's detuned by quite a few digits, so we'll let it sit and come back to it, and we may have to replace that, which I'm dreading, but the only learning experience here is learning not to get into this. Okay, the update on the Lloyds so far, after using the redox with protective additive in there, which is a no-no, but it's all we had, as the other cleaner without the lubricant, just it was a temporary fix. The static came back. The FM is still shifted to the shifted off the dial, but it's recovering somewhat. It will tune the whole dial, except it's not exactly where it should be. So I can tune the whole range at least. It's not exact. It should be over here. 96 is still about
Got it.
98. Yeah, 96 is about 98 right here. Should be over a little more. So it is slowly creeping back where it should be. And the AM, make sure I got AM here. The AM has no static. If it remains static free, that would be good.
That there was disagreement.
So if the AM stays quiet, the fact that the FM is off a little bit, I think it will recover from that. And we have our stereo LED light here.
Barbecue, family vacations.
So we'll come up with some solution for that.
Well, maybe not the last one, but you should think ahead since now.
That's the update on the Lloyds. Thanks for watching.